Welcome back everyone for an exciting retro restore where we are going to see how many of these Game Boy Advance boards it will actually be able to get working. We don't exactly have a shell for each of these, so once each of them's working, we're actually going to be ordering shells, and that's going to be a part 2 video for the customizing of whichever boards work out of these. So let's get started testing these. We will start with this one. Just a quick look at this one. It looks like something got, like some sort of moisture got over here, caused some corrosion and stuff. Other than some corrosion here, this side looks to be okay. Almost like maybe a battery exploded onto this side, because we have all that blue gunk on there. So this is one of the wider fit ones. For testing these, I have both of these, which you can see Game Boy Advance, there's some that had a wider ribbon for the monitor, some had a thinner ribbon. So we'll get this one hooked up in here, then close up the ribbon connectors. Just put a back in place on there. We have Motocross Maniacs we'll be using for testing today. Put some batteries in there, and then we'll flip this one on. Well, this one's not doing anything when turned on. So we'll turn it back off, take everything here apart. Then we'll mark these the old-fashioned way, just set them on a piece of paper. That one's no power, and I'll just put it to the side. So then we have our second one here. This has a replaced speaker on here. This one's actually missing one of the battery connectors, but other than that, everything else is looking pretty good on this one. So I could use a DC power supply, but our goal is to fix all of these. So luckily, I have a stockpile of the battery terminals from Retro 6. So I'm going to get that installed on this really fast, and then we'll go forward from there. First step is using 91% isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. Just going to get the back part of this cleaned up a little bit. There we go, that looks nice and clean. Now this part still looks fine, so we're just going to be replacing this one on there. Okay, we got our battery terminal through the opening there. So now we'll use a little bit of our solder on that. Okay, our battery terminal is all soldered in place, so we'll go ahead and get this one fed into the shell and see what happens. And this one is the smaller ribbon cable. Okay, and we'll put Motocross Maniacs in there and put the batteries in place, see what happens. Oops, I guess I already had that one in the on position. Okay, so this one seems to play, it just, sound doesn't work at all on this one. Okay, we'll take this one apart and mark down on our old-fashioned paper. So there we go, we have number 2 marked down as no sound. Now I am moving on to additional ones because at the end I want to see just how many are close to working, that we just need to do some minor things to get done, and then start diving into some of the ones will be a little more difficult. So our third one is missing one of the battery terminals. This one looks like it has a decent amount of corrosion over here. This side seems to be pretty good. So I think we'll do the same thing. I'll get the battery terminal added on there. If you order from Retro 6, you save a bunch of money buying these in bulk. Once again, it's the springy battery terminal. Okay, and we have that one held in place now, so we'll get it put in a shell and test it out. Okay, we have this one together now. Just turning it on, and there's nothing. So number 3, we have no power. So number 4 looks like it actually has some water damage. This is all rusted up here. This side over here is rusted. It actually has both battery terminals though. Now this is all rusted off. That's pretty gross. Looks like in this area of rust there are actually some capacitors missing here. These 3 capacitors are missing. Plus it has whatever that is inside the cartridge area. So this one's just kind of gross. This looks pretty corroded down here too, the headphone jack. But just for fun, let's see what happens when it's all hooked up. I'm not going to put my game in this one because how gross that is needs to be cleaned pretty well. But let's see if this even turns on. Okay, nope, doesn't even turn on. So number 4 is just you. Okay, we have number 5. This actually has both battery terminals. That looks pretty good. Things are actually looking pretty nice on this one. I have high hopes for this board. Okay, so I'll turn this one on. Hey, we have screen, we have LED. Okay, so it just seems like sound doesn't work on this one. Okay, so that one won't be that bad, hopefully. You'll have to excuse my terrible handwriting, but number 5, no sound. So number 6 is missing a battery terminal. Okay, and this side, everything looks to be in pretty good condition. So once again, we'll add the battery terminal and then test it out. Then we'll turn this one on. And we get nothing. Well, I definitely have my work cut out for me. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the Game Boy Advance repairs. There are probably going to be at least 3 parts to it, just because how long it's taking for some of these other parts to be finished on it. But if you have not yet, then please subscribe to be updated when the new ones come out for this. And if you enjoy this kind of stuff, then please hit a thumbs up. I want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.